release of the brand new trailer for Scream 7 has every fan of the franchise pondering several different questions. But the most obvious question that everybody is wondering is what role will Stu Macher play in this, and ultimately is Stu Macher going to be Ghostface? I'm here today to give you my thoughts and opinions on what will actually happen and who will be Ghostface, whether it is Stu or not. Again, this is all just theory, so I could be completely wrong about this, but it's Scream season, it's everybody's favorite time to kind of theorize and break down things and look for any little hint that we can. So we're going to talk about a few things in the trailer that happened that make me kind of think the way I do. Without further ado, welcome back to the channel. My name is Haydxn, and today we are going to be talking about Stu Macher and the role he will play in Scream 7. So earlier this year, we all got confirmation that Matthew Lillard signed back on to reprise his role in the Scream franchise as Stu Macher. This has obviously been one of the main talking points about Scream 7. We knew that they had to do something to redeem themselves after the controversy regarding Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega and them not coming back for any future installments in these movies. So the return of Stu Macher was what many people thought would be their redeeming quality. We know that the story is mainly focusing back on Sydney, and now we know that her daughter Tatum is going to be a big part as well. But it seems like this Ghostface is out for vengeance and they want to get revenge on Sydney for something that happened in the past. This is hinted at several times during the trailer. We have the Ghostface talk about not hiding this time, which kind of alludes to the fact that this is a Ghostface that we've had before. We also have a call between Ghostface and Sydney where he's talking about the town that they now live in reminds him of where they grew up. By the way, if I keep saying him while talking about Ghostface, I don't know if it's necessarily a him, it could be a her, it could be whatever, I don't know. But as I'm saying, this Ghostface continues to allude to the fact that they have been around before and this isn't their first encounter with Sydney. Now, a lot of people could look at this and think that the Scream franchise is kind of teasing us or throwing us these bones on purpose. It's very suspicious and very obvious that they would throw these things in your face to make you think that it could be Stu Macher when in actuality it might not be at all. So I'm kind of just on the fence about my beliefs and my opinions on who this Ghostface is because of that. The other thing we have regarding Stu Macher in this is at the very end of the trailer when you can hear him say, "This is gonna be fun."
This is gonna be fun.
But there's so many theories going around that make a lot of sense, especially with today's world. So the most popular theory that I believe is that this Ghostface is actually just using some sort of AI to try and recreate the voices or the faces of characters to get under Sydney's skin. We know that Sydney's brother Roman, the actor who played him, was also signed on to reprise his role as well, so why not also deepfake or use some type of AI to recreate him to get under Sydney's skin? It was also said that Dewey was going to be returning in this movie, so why not use Dewey AI to get under Gale Weathers' skin? It all just kind of lines up and makes a lot of sense. Another thing Scream likes to do is play off of things that are happening in the real world, and as we all know, AI, deep fakes, all that type of stuff is causing quite the controversy all the time. So why not have this modern take on Ghostface, someone who isn't actually Stu at all, but is using AI to recreate his face, recreate his voice, and maybe that's all that Matthew Lillard has signed on to do, just provide his voice, and that is his return to the franchise. But then people bring up the question, why is Stu Macher's house such a prominent place in this movie or in this trailer? And that could very well be just another thing to throw us off. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say just because his house is featured in this movie a lot doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna be returning to the house. I don't know if it makes a whole lot of sense for Stu to dress up as Ghostface and just loom around that house until somebody walks in. That's way too Michael Myers-esque, and I don't think that fits the vibe at all. I do think if Stu does actually show up in this movie in regular human form, he's not going to be Ghostface. I think if anything, he might be a patient at a mental asylum. That's what I've said since it was rumored that he was signing back on to reprise his role. I don't think he's going to be escaping. He's going to be going on this rampage, especially with the things that we saw Ghostface do in this trailer. Stu's going to be an older guy in the universe now. He's already gone through so much trauma with the first time he attacked Sydney. I don't really see him getting around how this Ghostface is. But then that brings the ultimate question. If Stu is not the Ghostface, then who is? I feel like it's way too easy of an answer to say that this Ghostface is probably someone who is related to Stu in some way, maybe his sister, maybe some children that he had at some point that we don't really know about, maybe a cousin, just some kind of relative who wants vengeance on what happened to Stu. I don't personally think that's the best route to go. I think that's kind of too easy to predict and it's kind of boring. I hope that there's a lot better of a motive than just I want vengeance for what happened to my family member 30 years years ago, so I'm kind of hoping that that's not really the case. And like I said, although I do think it would be cool to see the return of STU MACHER, a lot of people think he's dead, a lot of people think he's still alive. I'm ready for this movie to put an end to whatever the question is. I do love bringing back some of the legacy characters because it adds an interesting element to the new movies with a modern take on Ghostface, but I am ready to kind of move on from that story and latch onto these new characters like we did in Scream 5 and Scream 6. Unfortunately, with all the controversy that did happen, I'm not sure how they're going to go about that. People can say that Sydney is maybe passing the legacy on to her daughter in this movie, but we kind of already seen that with Melissa Barrera, so I'm not sure if I really want to see it again. But we never know, and if there's one thing about horror movie franchises, specifically Scream now at this point, they're going to continue to make more movies as much as they can. And while I'm not opposed to that, it is about time to start wrapping things up. All in all, do I think that Stu is going to be the one Ghostface of this movie? No. But do I think he might actually make a human appearance in this movie instead of his voice just being AI? I really hope so. If he doesn't appear, then hopefully we get some sort of closure on if he is actually dead or not, so we can put those rumors to rest. Who do you guys think is going to be the Ghostface killer in this new Scream movie? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below. There's several theories that I'm already seeing online. A lot of them are so very good. I can't wait to talk about more. But that's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you're going to subscribe to the channel, then why not go ahead and click that notification bell, because it's literally right there next to the subscribe button. You can also become a channel member. That is linked down in the description. It helps me out a lot. You get some cool and exclusive perks that not everybody has access to. My name is Haydxn. It was a pleasure talking Scream 7 with you guys here on the channel, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video. Peace out.